Zoo Wee Mama, how's it going, everybody? I'm here today to talk about some of the very best cards in Marvel Snap at the moment. I recently talked about some of the cards I thought were the absolute worst and should not be played really and deserve some buffs. Today I'm talking about the best cards, and some of them even got nerfed recently, and I still think that they are the best cards at their cost. So I don't necessarily think that all these cards need a nerf. It may be more of a case where the other cards at their cost just need to be better. Okay, there's a lot of cards in the game that just don't see much play, and these ones are just the clear standouts, and they work in a variety of decks, in a variety of cases. They're always just solid options. If you're looking to build a deck, you can just put these cards in here and no one's going to look at your deck and think, that's a weird choice. Why would you use that card? Like, everybody understands that these are just some really good, really strong cards. So to start off, I'm going to look at cards that cost one or less. And I think the best one cost right now is actually still Kitty Pryde. Now, not only is she wifey material with this new wedding variant that came out, but Kitty Pryde is just good, and she works in a lot of different decks. Even after her nerf, she still puts decent power on the board. She can trigger Angela, she can trigger the Collector, she dodges Shadow King or Killmonger or even Shang-Chi if you hit her with Shuri. There's just so many different kinds of decks and combinations you can play her with, and you really cannot go wrong putting Kitty Pryde in your deck unless you're running some Electro or a Sandman thing. Okay, Kitty Pryde is just still a very good card, and I don't think she needs to be changed. I honestly think she's at a good spot, but a lot of the one cost cards just suck. Okay, they are just bad. There's maybe about 5 that are viable, and of those 5, I do think Kitty has the most flexibility and different types of decks you can put her in. So one cost card, I'm saying Kitty is currently the best, even after her somewhat recent nerf. For 2 costs, still got my baby boy Jeff. Jeff, the baby land shark, is still amazing. Okay, you cannot go wrong with putting Jeff in your deck. He fits into so many different types of decks. If you look at any of my recent videos, I have him in a ton of them. I mean, just 3 power that's like guaranteed to be able to put anywhere. You can even move it once for whatever reason if you want to do that. It's so good. Now, I do think Jeff exhibits a bit of power creep on Nightcrawler. I personally, and I might get a lot of hate for this because people love Jeff, and I love Jeff too. Like I mentioned, I play him all the time. I think it would be fair to have Jeff as a 2-cost 2-powered card, so bring that power down by 1, or make it so you can play Jeff anywhere, but he could not be moved. Okay, and this would really distinguish him from Nightcrawler, so he doesn't just have a completely better ability than Nightcrawler, where he can be played anywhere and move anywhere, and Nightcrawler can just be moved. Okay, Nightcrawler can't be played or moved anywhere. So I think you bring down his power 1, or again, you change that ability. I personally would not mind that. I think it's fair. I think Jeff would still be good. I would still play him. And again, just that direct comparison, it smells a bit too much like power creep to me. And so for the time being, I think Jeff is still the best 2-cost card in the game. Although there are some other pretty good 2-cost cards. Okay, it's not nearly as bad as the 1-cost cards out there. For 3-cost cards, I gotta give this to Wave. Wave is still extremely strong. At the time I'm releasing this video, we've got Mobius, who is about to come out, and the devs has said that Mobius is going to serve as a counter to Wave. But in my mind, I think Mobius and Wave is just going to be a guaranteed package. Okay, it does mean you will need to run another card in a Wave deck. You're going to need to fit Mobius in there, but you're just going to play them together. I don't necessarily think that Mobius will shut Wave down, and I could be wrong on this. So if you're watching this video a few days after and Wave is now considered complete and utter garbage, that's on me. I'm wrong, okay? But I don't expect that to happen. I think Wave is still going to be very good. If anything, I think we're going to see a ton of Wave and Mobius. I think her play rate is going to increase even more. And as more cards come out, she's really always going to have a spot. Okay, I do believe Wave will always have a spot in the meta. She's basically always had one, even after the whole Doom Wave or Death Wave combo was nerfed, she's still very strong. I think she's going to keep that, and she's always a problem for some new big cards that come out. I wouldn't mind seeing Wave as a simple 3-cost, 2-powered card. Okay, it's all about her ability. Her power really doesn't mean much. It doesn't do much. Her ability is the real problem. So I think if she does see a bunch of play, and if Mobius just accelerates that and doesn't counter that, I think you can just bring her down to 2 power. I think that's very fair. And we do have a lot of other good 3-cost cards. I think 3 costs and 5 costs are probably the best group of cards in the game. Okay, those cards, we've just got a bunch of really good ones. So to talk about a really good 4-cost card, which I surprisingly still do not own, but I'm about to pick him up in the Spotlight caches, we've got High Evolutionary. Now, High Evo, when he came into the game, he created this whole new archetype, right? He changed the meta. A lot of people were bothered by him. They said he's, overpowered, and he's received a few nerfs. I mean, they did a nerf to Wasp. They did a nerf to the Thing. They changed how the Hulk works. I mean, they've done a few things where they've brought him down in power. I still think he's really good, and I think right now he's probably the best 4-drop, okay? Because you can choose how you build a High Evo deck. You can go full High Evo where you use all or almost all of the cards that he buffs. You can go just a small package where you include Cyclops and Hulk, but maybe nothing else. And you can go for a lockdown style. You can go for just a more standard control style, or, Limbo, extend the game, build up energy, She-Hulk, that kind of thing. And he's very good against Loki, because if your opponent copies your cards with Loki, while they will get your maybe Hulk or Cyclops or whatever it may be, it will not have the boosted ability from High Evo. Okay, they will be getting a vanilla Hulk or a vanilla Cyclops, just have no ability. So High Evo's good. He works great with Wave in some of his decks, and you can just really choose how you play him. Okay, he is kind of his own archetype, but there is flexibility in there. So I think at the moment, High Evo is the best 4-cost card in the game. Now let's look at 5-cost cards. I'm picking another one that recently received a nerf. I am picking Legion. Legion is one that when it was announced, people thought it wouldn't be very good. I thought it wouldn't be very good. I thought it would be a rarely played tech card, and we were all wrong. Legion took over, and he originally came out as a 5-cost, 8-powered card. He was brought down to 7 power. Now, he's still very strong, right? He's another one where it's all about the ability, but if your ability doesn't pop off, he is just decent power on the board. So losing 1 power from 8 to 7 did hurt him a little bit, but I still think he's very good, and I think he's the most flexible of all the 5-cost cards at the moment. Again, you can just put him in any deck, and he will work, okay? You really cannot go wrong with just slapping Legion in your deck. So to look at what I believe to be the best 6-cost card in the game, no, it is not Orca. Sorry, Orca. You're at a decent place right now, but you're nowhere near the best card in the game. I'm going with America Chavez. America Chavez, if you can see the number of boosters I have for her, I play her a ton, okay, because she's really good. I love putting her in all my decks. The devs recently came out and said that they might look to nerf America Chavez. She's seen a ton of play, especially recently. She's actually boosted up to, I think, the most played card in the game during this Loki season. So that's crazy. And, she's always had a high play rate. I don't know if the devs will change her. I don't actually know if she's a problem. No one's really annoyed by America Chavez. Okay, everyone understands she's good, but no one's annoyed by her because your opponent doesn't play her to beat you. Okay, people get annoyed by Galactus because he comes down, he does the whole animation. It's frustrating to lose your cards on the other lanes. They just go poof, right? They're just gone. Even Alioth, people are annoyed by. Your cards don't even reveal. They just get that purple fart cloud on them. They're just gone. Chavez is best when she's not played. She helps you draw consistently, and then hopefully you don't even play her. She just stays in your hand, and she actually remains as a mystery spot for your opponent in Conquest. They might only see 11 cards of your deck the whole time they're playing against you. So she's never frustrating to play against. I don't think she necessarily needs to be changed. I think everyone just enjoys her, and if you don't want to play her, you don't have to. Okay, you don't have to put her in your deck. But a lot of people enjoy her. I enjoy her. And she's the only card on this list that I'm putting in this video for the best cards, I believe, at each cost that you get in pools 1 or 2. I mean, all these other cards I've named are at pools 3, 4, or 5, right? Some people got Kitty for free if you were playing when Kitty had that whole bug and then they released her and gave her to everyone for free. But other than that, Kitty is a pool 5 card, Jeff is a pool 5 card, Wave is pool 3, High Evo, pool 5, and Legion, pool 4. So if you're a new player coming into the game, the only card you're going to have off of this list is America Chavez. And maybe that's a bad thing, right? We've got a bunch of really strong cards, ones that I consider to be the best for their cost, all in these pools 3 to 5 range, but more so in pool 5. I mean, we've just got some really strong cards, and they have not dropped down recently, so that could be a bit of an issue. I feel like I used to think there were a couple more cards that you get early on in pools 1 or 2 that I would put as the best card for their cost. Okay, so this could be a bit of a pricing out structure where, it's punishing newer players or those who can't get the more expensive, pool 4 and 5 cards faster. But with the spotlight caches, you actually can claim some pool 5 cards earlier. So, it's hard to know the pros and cons there, hard to weigh them. I just thought that was pretty interesting. But I think America Chavez, even though you get her so early in the game, she's just so good. Okay, that draw consistency that she creates, even in some combo decks where I want to play something specific on turn 6, if that combo needs to start earlier, like on turn 3 or 4, I go ahead, I slap America Chavez in my deck just so she helps me get that setup. I mean, she's so good. I love playing her. I got her inked already. I might split her some more down the road. I've got plenty of boosters. And that is my thoughts on the current best cards in the game. Let me know in the comments down below which cards you think are the best at each cost and which ones you think might need a nerf, or if you disagree with my proposed nerfs for Jeff and Wave, because not everyone's going to agree with that, and that's okay. But let me know what you think would be a better change if you think some of these cards need to be brought down just a little. So that's all for today. Have a good one, everybody. I'll see you next time.